Bhumika, Chandrika is there, Diksha, and all are Hima. Okay, you can start now, Vinay. You have prepared
Can I share
slides
the
now?
screen?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, screen share ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ma'am.
No, Vinay.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, ಇವಾಗ ma'am?
No.
Ma'am, ಇವಾಗ ma'am?
Now it is shared. Yes. Slide share option is there, no? You just take that option, F5, function key F5.
Okay. Ma'am, first Anuj will start, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Anush. First introduce yourself. Only few of your seniors are there.
Okay, ma'am.
Let them know your name. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So good afternoon, everyone. Myself Anuj MR. I'm studying in 4th SEM ISA. I'm here to explain about some topics about data structure. Next slide, Vinay. Okay. What is data structure? Means the data structure means it is a logical way of storing data, and it also defines the mechanism of retrieving the data. That means this definition means if we can store the data and we can retrieve the data. That means it is a skill of storing the data and using that data from that stored device. So it is called data structure. Vinay, next slide. Okay, as you all know that the data structure has some operations such as searching, sorting, insertion, updation, and deletion. At the first, searching. That means we can search any element in the data structure. That means we can search any element which we have stored in the data structure. Sorry, which are stored in which we have stored as data. At the second is sorting. We can sort the elements of the data structure either in an ascending or descending order. That means we can sort the data in ascending or descending order, any one of the way. Then as the third is insertion. We can insert a new element in the data structure. So we can insert new elements in the data. So that its meaning. Then at the fourth, that is updation. That means we can also update elements. That is, we can replace elements with another element. At the last is deletion. We can perform a deletion operation to remove the element from the data structure. So we can delete the elements which are not required for us. So that means we can delete the elements which are present in the data. Vinay, next slide. So here are the types of data structure. Basically, data structure is divided into two types: primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. A primitive data structure, it means these are the devices. Sorry, these are the fundamental standards of data type, and these are used to represent a single value. For example, int, float, and character type of structures. Then another one is non-primitive data structure. These are derived from the primitive data structures, and these are used to store a group of values like array, stack, queues, and linked list. Then the non-primitive data structure are divided into two types: linear and non-linear. The linear data structure means the data structure is said to be linear if its elements are stored in a sequential order. Example, array, stack, or a queue. That means they are arranged.
Vinay?
Yes, ma'am.
See, no, his voice is not audible now. Anuj, your voice.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Where I have left, ma'am? Can I start at the types of data structure, ma'am?
Yes, you can start from non-primitive data structures, linear and non-linear.
Okay. So the non-primitive data structure are divided into linear and non-linear. Means here linear, the data structure is said to be a linear if its elements are stored in a sequential order. For example, array, stack, and queue. Means the linear data structure is arranged in a linear fashion, you can say. So the non-linear data structure, the data structure is said to be a non-linear if data are arranged in a non-sequential or arranged in a sequential order. For example, trees and graphs. So then the linear data structure is divided into two types, static and dynamic. So static means the static data structure is a collection of data in the memory which is fixed in size. And then the dynamic data structure refers to an organization or a collection of data in the memory that has flexibility, means it can grow or shrink in the size. So other these things I will explain the next slide. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Okay, here the first is array. Arrays are defined as a collection of similar data types, items that are stored in a contiguous memory location. Here the arrays, that means arrays are defined as they are a collection of similar data types. Is called array. Then at the second is the linked list. Linked list can be defined as a collection of objects called nodes that are randomly stored in the memory. That means it is defined as the collection of nodes. The data the data is called as nodes and which are stored in the randomly in the memory. Then stack. Stack can be defined as a container in which the insertion and deletion can be done from the one end called as at one end known as the top of the stack. That means the last element to be inserted will be the first element to delete. So this is one of the property of the stack. Then the fourth one is queue. A queue can be defined as an ordered list which enables the insert operation to be performed at the one end called rear, and the deletion operation can be performed at the another end called front. As like stack, the queue has two ends, that is a rear end and front end. In the rear end, the operands are inserted, and at the front end, the operands are deleted. So there are two ends in the queue and one end in the stack. Then next is tree. A tree data structure is defined as a collection of objects or entities known as nodes that are linked together to represent or stimulate hierarchy. Then the graph, at the last is graph. A graph G can be defined as an order set G of V, E, where V represent a set of vertices and E represents a set of edges, which are used to connect these vertices. So the graph can be defined as the order pair of V, E, where V represents the set of vertices and E represents set of edges. So Vinay, next slide, please. Okay, then here are some questions. So which of the following is correct way of declaring an array? So any guesses?
Other students, you have to give the response. Anuj, at least you matadi, please. Seniors, you have to encourage them.
A.
Senior.
Yeah, that option A is correct. Vinay, next slide, please.
Hey, just tell about why that option A is okay. Okay.
That means A. That means the answer is A because int that specifies the type of array, and the Java T point is a name of the array. You can declare any name. So I have given the name as Java T point, and the size and the 10 is the size of an array enclosed within the square brackets. So this is the explanation. So because so this is explanation about the answer A. Then Vinay, next slide. Okay, and here is the next question. How can we initialize an array in C language? So here are the 4 options. Any guesses?
C.
Yeah. Vinay, next slide, please. Yes, the answer is option is correct C because the explanation I will give that. The answer is C because the value assigned in an array must be enclosed within a curly bracket. So this is very important that we should enclose, we should assign the values in the curly bracket. Okay, sir.
So at the time,
Okay, continue.
at the time of declaration itself, the array is initialized. So in the square bracket, he has told that array size is 2 is equal to assignment operator. Inside the curly braces, 2 elements are separated by comma. This is how we initialize the arrays at the time of declaration itself. So you know that, just we are recalling that. Okay.
Ma'am, the upcoming slides will be explained by Divya, ma'am.
Okay, Divya.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Divya from 4th semester ISC. Now I can take the third question here. Third question is, what is the output of the below code? Here they given a small code, ash include stdio.h int main. In braces, they given int array of 5 equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Here the size of the array is 5. They assign the elements 10, 20, 30, 40. Then next printf statement is %d array of 5 return 0. This is the code they given. Anybody can guess the answer for this code?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Nagachandran
Let
is
me
there.
compile.
Wait. Nagachandran, you left the meeting? You are there, no? No. ಇದನ್ನೇ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Yes, other seniors, Nidhi, Nikita is there. Nikita?
Yes, ma'am.
Nidhi madam, please just go through that instructions. Your juniors, they are actually C programming language ಪಾಪ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, Divya, continue.
Vinay, can you share that?
Okay, Divya. Your screen is shared now.
Yes, Vinay. Here the can you see the output? Here the output is 32764. This means it is a garbage value. So here the answer is a garbage value. Why? Because for arrays, the indexing in an array starts from 0. So it starts from a of 0 to array of 4. If we try to access the array of 5 element, then the garbage value will be printed. Next slide, Vinay. Okay. Next slide. Fourth question is which one of the following is the size of int array of 9, assuming that int is of 4 bytes. Here they given the 4 options: A 9, B 36, C 35, and D none of the above. Any guesses? What is the answer? Okay.
36.
Yes, correct. 36 is the answer because the size of the integer type data is 4 bytes. The array stores 9 elements. So 9 into 4, which becomes 36. So 36 bytes is the answer. So next slide, Vinay. Okay. Fifth question is consider the following stack implemented using stack. Here define define size 11. Here the stack size is 11. Struct stack int array of size int top equal to -1. Initially, the question is what would be the maximum value of the top that does not cause the overflow of the stack. Here, the overflow means it is an error which occurs simply when we try to push the new data into the full stack. So, here they given the 4 options 8, 9, 11, 10. So, anybody can guess or can I explain?
11.
D 10.
No.
11.
10.
Okay.
10.
Yes, D is the right answer. Why? Because the maximum size of the array is 11. Therefore, we can insert 11 elements in the stack. The top value is initialized by -1, and on every insertion, the top value gets incremented. So the answer is 10. Next question. Okay. If the elements, sixth question, if the elements 1, 2, 3, and 4 are added in a stack, so what would be the order of the removal?
4, 3, 2, 1.
C.
Yes. How it comes means the answer is C because stack follows last in first out procedure, which means that the element inserted at the last will be removed first. So that's why the answer is 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is my part. Next part will be continued by Vinay. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Vinay.
Thank you, Divya. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself Vinay from 4th ISC. I am going to explain from 7th question. Which one of the following is the overflow condition if linear queue is implemented using an array with a size max size? Anyone can guess the answer?
C.
Yeah, exactly right. Because the answer is C, that is array equals to max size -1, as the size of the array is max size. So we can insert the elements till max size -1. If we try to insert the elements of size max size or more than max size in a queue, then it leads to the overflow condition. The time complexity of NQ operation in queue is. Anyone can the answer? Here NQ operation is means operation of inserting an item into the queue. Then the answer is A of 1. That is in the queue, the insertion is performed at the rear end. which is directly accessible. Therefore, it takes O of 1 time to insert an element in a queue. Because first element is inserted at the rear end of the queue, so it's take O of 1 as the time complexity. What is the output of the code? Hash include stdio.h. It is a library function, input output function. Int get sum of int n. It is a function definition. Int main int n equals to n. Here initial in declarand initial is the value of n. Int answer equals to get sum of n. Here it is a function call. Get sum of n. The control here int get sum int of int n. Int sum comma I for equals to 1. I is less than or equals to n I plus plus.
Vinay, your voice is breaking. Vinay?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Vinay?
Ma'am, I am audible, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello,
Okay,
ma'am.
actually there was a network problem from my side. You
No, ma'am.
finished?
No, ma'am. Some other part is there, ma'am.
Okay, you just come back to your last program.
Okay, ma'am.
Last slide, you just explained that slide. When you are in that slide, no network problem was there.
Yeah, ma'am. No screen is visible, ma'am.
You just you start explaining this.
Okay, ma'am. The time complexity of NQ operation in queue is O of 1. Because what is NQ operation? NQ operation means operation of inserting an item into the queue. Here the answer is A, that is O of 1. In queue, the insertion is performed at the rear end, which is directly accessible. Therefore, it takes O of 1 time to insert an element in a queue. Queue is a linear array type. The element is inserted at the rear end because the queue is empty. The first element is accessible at the rear end. Therefore, it takes O of 1 as the time complexity.
Then what is the meaning of that second option, Q of n, O of n? So you told that in case of Q, we insert the element at the rear end, no? So that is why O of 1. So what is the meaning of that? The second option then, O of n means what? Any other students? Yes, Vinay?
Ma'am, more than one element is there, then it takes O of n, ma'am.
No, I didn't get.
In Q, more than one element is there, then it takes time complexity as O of n, ma'am.
If only one element is there, then O of 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Only last element is left.
No, ma'am. Just first element is accessible at the rear end, ma'am. Because empty queue is empty, ma'am, at that time.
Okay. O of n means?
More than one element is present in the queue, then it takes a time complexity as O of n, ma'am.
So n number of elements are there means the time complexity is O of n.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Continue, Vinay.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, ninth question is what is the output of the following code? Hash include stdio.h. It is a library function. Then it comes to int main int n equals to 10. Here we have to declare and initialize the value of n is 10 and int n answer equals to get sum of n. Here we have to do the function call. Then the control comes to int get sum of int n. Int sum comma I, we have to declare sum and I of data integer data type. And for I equals to 1, I is less than or equals to n, I plus plus, it is a for loop. Then sum of plus equals to I means it is sum equals to sum plus I. It means sum equals to sum plus I. Return sum. Anyone can guess the answer of this printf percentage d equals to answer.
A.
No, it is the wrong option because we have not initialized some value here. Sum equals to 0 here. If sum equals to 0, then option A is right. But here not initialize some value equals to 0. So some compiler will produce the garbage values, and some compiler will automatically initialize this variable to 0 if not initialized. In that case, the value of if sum is equals to initializes to 0, then the value is 55. And the value depends on the compiler.
Okay, she told that only. So she initialized it to 0. So she told the answer is 55. Is that correct, Nidhi? No? Okay, Vinay. Next. Next.
Yes, ma'am. Run ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೇನೆ. Here you see this program output is -182486170. It has a garbage value of that program.
Okay. Here your compiler has not initialized the value of sum to 0. So it is giving the output as garbage value.
Then 10th question is, what is the output of the following? Hash include stdio.h. Then control comes to here, int main, it is a main function. It includes int n equals to 5. Here declarand initializes of value of the n equals to 5. Int answer equals to recursive sum of n. Here it is a function call, means function prototype. The control comes to here, int recursive sum of int n. If here give the control statement, if n equals to 0, here n equals to 5, already program initialize the value of n is 5. Therefore, if 5 equals to 0, it is wrong. Therefore, the control comes to here, return n. N means 5. Recursive sum of n minus 1. N minus 1 means 4. Recursive sum of 4 means, then the control again comes to here. Then recursive sum of, then here 4 equals to 0. It is false. Then return n means 4. 4 plus recursive sum of 4 minus 1 means 3. Here comes 3. Int recursive sum of 3. Then if 3 equals to 0, the condition is false. Therefore, the control comes here, return 3 plus some recursive sum of 3 minus 1 means 2. Yeah, then again call the function as recursive sum of 2. Then int recursive sum of 2. If n value is 2, 2 equals to 0 means false. Then the control comes to return n 1 plus sum of 1 minus 1 0. Return 0 equals to 0, the condition is true. Then it means 0. Value is 1 plus 3 plus 6 plus 10 equals to 15. Therefore, option B is right. Then the control comes to here, printf percentage d answer, the output is 15. Understood, everyone?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, finished, Vinay?
Yes, ma'am.
ಓಕೆ ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ತಗೋಬೋದಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು ನಮಗೆ. Okay. So Saida, Bibi Amina, you are ready now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how many slides you have? Okay. How many problems you have solved?
6, ma'am.
Huh. Okay. You can share the screen. You have taken the PDF, no? Picture.
Yes,
Are you going to? Huh. Okay. You will share the screen.
okay.
Huh.
Hello?
You have not shared. Saida?
Yes.
You have not shared anything. Yeah, try to share now.
Now visible. Hello?
No, no. Yes, what happened? Yes, you have shared now. Your mobile screen is visible.
Now?
You just landscape it. Landscape ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅದು ಫುಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. No, Saida. ನೀವು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲನ.
Hello?
ನಂದು ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಂಗೆ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll stop the placement activities today. We will close the session now. Okay. So ನಾಳೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾಳೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿ ಟೈಮಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ನಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, your mobile screen is